Sterling responds to racial abuse with profound social media post. Manchester City winger has spoken out about the racist abuse he reportedly suffered at Stamford Bridge on Saturday, taking to Instagram to point out his feelings as to why abuse is prevalent in the sport today. Cameras caught a fan screaming at Sterling on the touchline using racist language to heckle the City winger as he took a throw-in. They are investigating the incident. Sterling spoke out on his Instagram page, saying media coverage that differs for blacks and whites fuels the racism he faces during matches today. He posted screenshots of 2 Daily Mail articles covering stories of his young Manchester City teammates and buying houses for their parents with newfound riches, and points out the differences in the tone of the headlines. "You have 2 young players starting out there, sick careers, both play for the same team, both have done the right thing," Sterling writes, which is buy a new house for their mothers who have put in a lot of time and love into helping them get where they are, but look how the newspapers get their message across for the young black player and then for the young white player. Sterling says this helps fuel racism and aggressive behavior, and pleads with the papers to keep a closer eye on their wording and coverage to promote equality. The 24-year-old has himself often been at the center of similar headline controversies, including earlier this summer before the World Cup when he was criticized for having a gun tattoo on his leg, which he explained was to honor his father killed by gun violence in Jamaica. Sterling has also been criticized by catchy newspaper headlines for things like proposing to his girlfriend and having a flashy car. For all of the negativity surrounding the second leg of the Copa Libertadores final between River Plate and Boca Juniors, from to postponing the game, to the 120 minutes of actual soccer delivered on the pre-final hype of a first ever to crown a South American champion. Tied 2-2 after nearly a month ago now, Sunday's second leg, played at Real Madrid Santiago Bernabeu, saw River Plate top their bitter Buenos Aires rivals 3-1, 5-3 on aggregate, in extra time. Dario Benedetto put Boca ahead with the game's opening goal just before halftime. While the finish was certainly clinical, it's the through ball from Nahitan Nandes that stole the show, and rightly so. Nandes split 2 defenders with his inch-perfect pass into space, sending Benedetto in for a straightforward one-on-one chance which he slotted away with ease. But River fought back with an exceptionally worked equalizer in the 68th minute. Ignacio Fernandez cut the ball back for Lucas Prado who swept it home from near the penalty spot. Juan Quintero hammered home the winning goal from outside the penalty area after 109 minutes. Quintero's left-footed strike departed his foot like a missile and crashed off the underside of the crossbar. River put the exclamation point on, and added insult to heartbreak, with a stoppage time, empty netter to make it 3-1. Gonzalo Martinez raced toward the end of the stadium full of blue and yellow-clad supporters and rolled the ball home with the last meaningful kick of the game. Madrid, AP, scored early in the first half and Real Madrid held on for a harder-than-expected 1-0 win at last-placed Huesca on Sunday to move closer to the top of the Spanish league. Bale found the net in the 8th minute and Madrid withstood pressure from the league newcomer to move to 4th in the standings after 15 matches, behind Atletico Madrid, Sevilla and leader Barcelona. Barcelona and Atletico Madrid won their games on Saturday, while Sevilla was held by Valencia to a draw. The match in Huesca happened only a few hours before fierce Argentine rivals River Plate and Boca Juniors played in Real Madrid Santiago Bernabeu Stadium in the final of the Copa Libertadores, South America's equivalent of the Champions League. The second leg of the final was moved to the Spanish capital after the match in Argentina was marred by fan violence. Madrid struggled against a Huesca team that hasn't won in 16 straight matches. Huesca has only won once in the league this season, in the first round at Eibar. Huesca is making its first division debut and had never played against Real Madrid. Santiago Solari's team needed a solid performance by goalkeeper to hold on to the win, the team's 4th consecutive victory in all competitions after a humiliating 3-0 defeat at Eibar in the league. "We couldn't do much in the second half," Courtois said. "We know we have to improve, but it's difficult to play these types of matches." Courtois and other Madrid players said strong wins in the second half made it harder for the team to control the game. Marco Asensio and Isco, who had led the team to a 6-1 rout of 3rd Division club Melilla in the Copa del Rey on Thursday, entered Sunday's match in the second half but made no significant contribution. Bale scored with a neat volley from inside the area, side-footing a cross by Alvaro Odriozola. The Wales forward, jeered by some fans in the team's league win against Valencia last weekend, hadn't scored in 10 league matches. Real Madrid was 9th in the standings after losing 5-1 at Barcelona in a match that led to the firing of coach Julen Lopetegui's controversial red card near the hour mark of Newcastle's eventual home loss to Wolverhampton Wanderers proved deadly, and left Magpies boss fuming. Benitez was so mad, he let the officials hear it on the field, and then after the match didn't hold back, calling for VAR to be instituted immediately. "We need the VAR, now. I think we need the VAR," Benitez told Sky Sports. "You can guarantee to me that the player in the corner of the box can score in the top corner every time? It cannot be a red card on Yedlin. We have lost 3 points today and we deserve to win." Yedlin was sent off for denying a goal-scoring opportunity, but the controversial decision was made by referee Mike Dean despite the presence of a pair of Newcastle defenders in the area and charging with the closest. The ball was far away and he, Lascelles, was close enough at least to see that it was not a clear chance. Benitez was also furious about an incident where Ios Perez took an elbow from in the penalty area with 10 minutes to go. "It's so obvious. You see the red card on Yedlin, and you see the elbow in the face of Ios. We need the VAR right now. I think the team was doing well in the game, but it is very difficult in these situations," Benitez said. "I don't need to talk too much because you talk well about the referees, and their decisions that are wrong. Just watch the images, that's it. It is so clear." VAR has recently been confirmed for use in the Premier League starting next season. The league voted this summer on instituting the technology for this season, but instead voted to postpone the system's installment. The match is finally here. After many twists and turns that saw the final second leg postponed and scheduled 2 weeks later thousands of miles away, Boca Juniors and River Plate will meet with 90 minutes to decide the Copa Libertadores winner. The game kicks at 2:30 p.m. ET from the Santiago Bernabéu in Madrid, Spain. With the fan violence aside, the focus can return to the match on the field. The aggregate is 2-2 after the first leg hosted by Boca Juniors, with the visitors fighting back from a goal deficit twice. The level aggregate score gives this match the feel of a one-off final rather than a second leg, punctuated even more by the delay between start and finish. The delay also means Christian Pavón is healthy and ready to go for Boca Juniors after leaving the first leg in tears after just 27 minutes. Carlos Tevez begins on the bench for Boca. River manager Marcelo Gallardo is still suspended for the second leg as he was for the first, but this time he can at least be in attendance, unlike the first leg when he was not allowed in the stadium. Armani, Montiel, Maidana, Pinola, Casco, Ponzio, Perez, Palacios, Fernandez, Martinez, Prado. Bench: Luz, Martinez, Quarta, Miata, Zuculini, Quintero, Alvarez, Mora. Andrada, Buffarini, Magallanes, Izquierdos, Alaza, Nandes, Barrios, Perez, Pavón, Benedetto, Villa. Bench: Rossi, Goltz, Jara, Gago, Tevez, Abila, Zarate.